Hey friends, in this short video I'd like to share with you some ideas to implement the Hangman game in Python 3. This is a short overview of my code. I start by importing some libraries that will be useful later. For example, I'm going to use random to implement randomly a word from a list, and then I'm going to use this Python file that I wrote to store the word to choose from. My code starts presenting the game in these lines. It starts with a prompt with a let's play a game of Hangman, and then choosing randomly a secret word from the list words, and then transforming it to uppercase to proceed giving some hints about this word. For example, here present the first and last letter of the secret word. After it is a list that is meant to store the letters as the user guesses them. I have this variable, guesses left, to store how many guesses the user is allowed to use to finally guess the word. With this print statement, I show a template, which is just updated guess joined with spaces, and then the game mechanics are implemented with a while loop, like you can see here. While we have guesses remaining, the program will ask the user for their next guess and transform it to uppercase. If the guess happens to be in the secret word, this is the case when the guess is correct, then the program will print correct and update the updated guess list with this for loop. After printing the updated guess list joined with spaces, it will check if the game has came to its completion. This is if the user has guessed the secret word, in which case it will print you won congrats and it will break the while loop. Whenever the guess is incorrect, the program will print this prompt, decrease by 1 the number of guesses left, and then show the user how many guesses he has left. Finally, after this while loop is completed, either because it has came to execute the break statement or because the guesses left have achieved 0, then this final check will run in case the guesses left is 0 to print this message, which is disappointing, you lost this game, the word is secret word. I'll try going into more detail now, explaining first how I got the words. This is the script I use to get a file containing only a list of words. I started importing the libraries I'll use, in this case this one that I need to read from a website, the contents of a URL, and then regular expression to find the words in the URL. These are the contents of the URL. It's a JSON file with many English words in quotes. I'm not sure how many of them there are. I found it in GitHub, perhaps for another similar project, and I like it because it is very complete. It has even different time, adverbs, and related words for each verb and noun. So these contents are stored into data. I create an empty list to store the words I use to play Hangman, to then going line by line, finding words in data with this for loop. The way these words are found is using regular expression, specifically this method, findAll, which returns any strings matching this regular expression in any bigger string. This regular expression is going to match any string that is between quotes. I can show you how this line behaves in the shell. So I have to import RE, and then I'm going to run findAll on this string S, which you see has some words between quotes. So what findAll does is find all the strings between quotes following this regular expression and then present it into a list, like shown here. I have to use str to make sure a string was passed into this findAll function. And then I use these lines to store into words Hangman all words with more than 3 letters. It had to be done this way because I had some list that was empty, so I had to test it with this it. And then inside it, after making sure the list contained a word, then I tested if that word had at least 3 letters, but at least 4 letters. So if that's the case, then I added to the words Hangman list. I only use the index 0 because in test runs, I found the all elements found with findAll had either 1 or 0 words. Finally, after storing all words with more than 3 letters into words Hangman, I wrote them in a file called englishhangman.py using these 2 lines. This W is just to overwrite whatever contents there were in this file. And note I'm writing as defining any list in a py file. Words equal some list of strings. which happens to be here. This has the contents of English Hangman.py, and as you can see, it's a long list of words. I don't know how many of them there are, but this file is above 4 megabytes, so I guess there are 10 of thousands of words here. So that's how I got the list of words to choose from, and I use this method, random.choice, to randomly choose a word from that long list of words. I can go into more detail on how this updated guest list behaves. So I'm going to run some lines. I'm going to choose a secret word, and then I'm going to run updated guess, which just, as you can see here, takes the first letter of the first word and the last one, and then puts some dashes in between. And here I'm just putting together some list. So if I run it, and then if I print its contents, I got a list of letter and dashes, as you can see, from the secret word, which is this one. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this. I'm not that good at spelling. To print the contents of the updated guest, I have to use the join method. What join does is takes all elements in the string, in the list, and then joins them with a space. You can put any character here. Even you can leave it blank to join it with just a blank string, which is just putting all elements together in a single string. So if I run it, I got this string that I can show with print. Now, going into more detail how this updated guess is updated, I have to use an index to find which positions of the secret word are already guessed, and then update updated guess on those same positions. Finally, I present updated guess with the same join method I used earlier. And here I use join again, but this time with an empty string because I just want to compare the contents of updated guess and the secret word. If this condition is true, then the game is finished and the player has won. Improvements I recommend for this program are adding graphics and keeping track of which letters have been used before, both the right guesses and the incorrect ones, and finally presenting them in some way to make it more interactive. Thank you for watching. If you like my content, please hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll be coming back with more Python videos. Bye bye.